All right. Hello, Gun Nation. How's everyone doing this evening? We'll give it a little bit. And I did throw a question out there. What is my carry? I want y'all to guess the carry for this week. We'll let a bunch of people guess, and then I'll go over the answer here in a little bit. We'll give it 10 or so minutes if y'all want to guess on that. So, what am I carrying this week? What have I been carrying all week? So, hello, Lake Ozark guy. I said hi to all the other guys. We've got Ranger, Dirt Track, Pistol Pete, Lake Ozark guy, Lynn Holt. Yeah, Lynn shot me an email today. And yes, I have seen the deals on the Hollow Suns. They've been doing those for a little while. I mean, really inexpensive. That is the 410, so that's just the basic dot, which is nothing's wrong with that. Also, just so y'all know, when I set this chat up, apparently I set it up at 7 a.m. this morning on accident. So we had a couple of people or one person saying, "Hey, I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you." Mateo Guns was in here this morning asking, and I was like, "Oh crap, sorry about that. It was supposed to be PM, not AM." So that was my mistake. So I apologize to anybody that jumped in thinking, "What the hell's Big J doing?" But well, I'll just go ahead and say it now. Hello, Brian. How are you? Pistol Pete guessed it right off the bat. So it is the Shadow 2 Compact. So if you got it right, I might as well go ahead and give you credit for it. Yes, I have been carrying that all week in the Armsman holster with the TLR 7 HLX, you know, the longer light, 1,000 lumen light. And I am carrying it in the quarter cocked position with the safety off. So the safety is not on. So I know some people will freak out, but it's in the quarter cock. That's the way the gun's designed to carry. So you don't have to use the safety, and I have not put the extended safety on it. I'm still probably going to because I do want the ledge. Hello, Uncle Dan. How are you? Uncle Dan's in the house, and DB is in the house. Matter of fact, I want to start doing this more often. You know, especially and if everyone's not in here, you know, I'm sure they will be. But we'll go ahead and go over the community spotlight. This is for the subscribers that give the most. It kind of rotates weekly. And I think it just kind of spotlights different post people. But DB, if you can see it, DB is one of them. Damn, that light's bright. DB is one of them. He's got 78 comments in the house. Arthur is new. Multi-gun Art, he's got 2. Lynn Holt has over 100. Christian has 9. Trigger Bar has over 100. So those are the ones that are in the feature tonight. It only picks like, I guess, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know other people have been in there. So I'm just going to start doing that more often to tell y'all thank you. So when you leave, you know, when you leave comments and things like that, I guess that's what it counts. So that's pretty cool that it does that. I didn't know that it did that till probably like about 3 weeks ago. So I'm going to start doing that when we do these, when we do the chats. Hello, Scott. How are you? Let me see if I've missed anybody. J78's in the house. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to get into this pardon thing. Pardon me. We got US Vet in the house. The heavy trigger pull is the safety. Yeah, well, this one, I mean, it's heavier, but it's you know, it's fine. I'm not you know the guy that's worried about that kind of stuff. Got A Barnes in the house. I appreciate you. Yeah, hit that thumbs up. I appreciate you. Brian is going to the neurosurgeon tomorrow in Charleston. Pray he has answers. Won't be commenting much because I can't feel my hands. No, I understand, man. Yeah, definitely keep me in the loop. I mean, if you can, if you need to call or whatever, you know, let me know how you're doing. We got Armsman in the house. I was just bragging about his holster for the Shadow 2 Compact that I'm carrying this week. Enjoying it. We got Pranic in the house. Yeah, Brian and Pranic have been on that, you know, the comments. Now, this tonight, I poured a big old glass because we got a lot of crap to talk about. I mean, we got shill stuff. We got, you know, the pardon me. We got a whole bunch of crap. So, cheers, everyone. And this is not the great stuff. That's Hog 6. It's okay. It's got a little more bite. I mean, it's drinking whiskey. You know, it's not higher end or anything like that. Not that I drink the super high end stuff. I have it. I don't even drink it. It just sits there. But Anyway, yeah, it's going to be a yeah, we're going to get into some stuff. Uh, First, he's a liar. Said he wasn't going to do it. Told everybody in the nation he wasn't going to do it. Then he did it. Um, he said, "Oh, I don't think they were being favorable to him." Well, when the hell has the government ever been favorable to anybody? Honestly, if that would have been you or me or any of our friends or family, we would have been hung up as a poster child. So I had a feeling this shit was going to come back. I had a feeling he was going to do his little end around and do exactly what he did. So that's bullshit right there. Another thing I want to get into, pardon me, um, who's next? Because I have some ideas. Who's next? I will say he claims to be a doctor, and he was pushing something for a long, long time. And I have a feeling they're going to roll around, or Joe's going to roll around and pardon him, and probably a lot of people within the White House and the different organizations. So that's what I think. Now, I could be wrong. These aren't facts. These are just opinions. But I think that's probably what's going to end up happening, because when he's out of there, um, I think the T Man's going to go after a lot of people, and if they've got these pardon me's, um, that's a cloaking device, so to say. I really hope that I really hope some of that still comes out. I don't know if it will, but I hope it does. And another thing that's crazy is for his boy, and I'm going to say boy because he's not a man, uh, 10 years, it was between here and here. I mean, that's pretty specific. Um, so, it's not just the couple of years that was the charges, it's specifically from here to here, which is about what, 10 or 11 years, I think. Um, you know, I think somebody was getting little paid for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't throw something out to cover his own ass. I really wouldn't. I don't know if you can pardon yourself. I don't know. But man, yeah. Well, what Ranger, when he said he wouldn't, I was like, yeah, it's because he wants to try to push this win through. And when he found out it didn't, then I knew he was going to back and do that. Let me catch back up. Yeah, it's to cover up. That's what I'm saying. The whole family, not just Joe, his son, his brother. I mean, all that crap they've been doing. So, yeah, I saw that. I have that written down here too. So we're going to get into that too. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, Dennis. They've got these people on a list, and they're going to start pardoning them. Also, um, there's a list that's been supposed to come out a long, 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 long time ago. Um, there's another big mafia crime family. It rhymes with the Hintons. Um, so wouldn't be surprised if there was some shit in there. But hello, Red Menace. Hey, man, long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Yep. And see, that's what I think Trump is going to do when he gets in there. The people that were thrown in, maybe not all of them, but I think he's going to get some of them out of there. Well, that's true. That is true. Uncle Dan's right. Uncle Dan's right. No, I was going to say, man, there is so much funding over there. Joe even tried to pull another thing, but luckily Mike Johnson shot him down and said, no, we're going to wait till the new boss comes in. We're not giving them any more money. So it's 11 years. Okay, I couldn't remember if it was 10 or 11. Oh, he's done. He's done. Exactly. Also, what's really crazy is I don't know if y'all heard about the hit in New York today, but you can't tell me that was not planned if you saw the video against the guy that was going to go and give all the spiel. What was he in health? Gosh, I can't remember the name of it, but y'all can look it up. But it happened in New York. And yeah, that was definitely a hit. And a lot of people said, oh, his gun was jamming. It looked like he was using a 22 with a suppressor. And to me, he was using like subsonic, really light loads to where it wouldn't function so he could rack it and keep the shell. That's what it looked like to me. A lot of people are saying, oh, his gun's jamming. He keeps clearing it. I think he was clearing it on purpose to keep the shells. That's what I think. And you can watch the video. Matter of fact, I think Trigger Bar even said that on X too. He made a reply, a comment saying, I think he's keeping the shells. And that's the first thing I thought when I saw the video. Oh, you can pardon yourself. Okay, I didn't know if you could or not. Sorry, I'm not a legal scholar. What kind of noise are you hearing? I don't have anything playing. There's a fan this is sitting on another computer. So I think there's a fan on that computer that goes. So sorry if that's what you're hearing. And in the other room in there's a TV on. So maybe that's what you're hearing. I did turn it way down, but this microphone might be doing pretty good. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It looks like you're using very low powered subs on purpose. That's what I think. Yep. United Healthcare. Yeah, I knew you guys were all over this. That's definitely a hit. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah, you can't, Dennis, but criminals can. See? Yeah, CEO of a drug company. That's what I'm saying. I think they were covering up some shit when some stuff was about to come out. So, yeah, working it to keep the shells. So, yeah, Armsman's agreeing too. Oh, Lake Ozark guy says you can see the unfired rounds on the ground and they look like 9mm because it looked like when he was racking it, he was cupping it and then he would put his hand down. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, it was just a short video. So it's a high pitch hissing. Okay, it could be. Sorry, I'll turn the volume down. Maybe that it's picking up stuff because the volume's cranked up. I just turned it down. Let me know if that's any better. Sorry about that. Okay, so I guess he wasn't picking up his shells. He was my cousin's boss. Wow. Captain Phil says my Vortex Venom 3x15x44 optic just arrived. Throwing it on my 16-inch AR-10. There you go. Wow. Did that make the noise go down by turning it down? Let me know if y'all were hearing it before because I had it turned up quite a bit, so maybe it was just picking it up. Yeah, hopefully they start kicking them out of there. Hello, J78. Appreciate you being on. And if I haven't said hi to somebody who jumped in, sorry about that. Let's see here. Okay, so we got that. And yes, I'm carrying the Shadow 2 compact. If any, in case people asked that just came in. Also, I was going to say, and this was a joke, but I'm going to say who's next for JB to pardon the diddler? Is he next? But I have a feeling that Dr. Jabby Jab, he's gonna take care of him. I just have a feeling. Also, I've been asked about the Springfield Echelon Compact. I have had three. Well, I had one guy ask me on the phone today, and then I had two things sent to me. With comments. They were on different videos. I don't have an Echelon, but asking me if I saw it. And yes, I saw it. I think everybody and their brother saw it. The embargo day was the other day, so that's when all the videos drop. And a lot of people don't understand why everybody puts the video out on that day, why you get bombarded with videos. There's an embargo day where they say you can't release a video until that certain day, and that's what people were doing. So everybody wants to be first to the punch, and I get it. That's cool. Pistol Pete. But anyway, yeah, on the Springfield Echelon Compact, is that for me? No. I mean, I have tons of striker fire guns. Not saying it's a bad gun. I don't need it. Buddies that I know that have the Echelon, the full size, they like it. They think it's a great gun, but it doesn't do anything that my other striker fire guns don't do. That I've got tons of mags for, etc. So I'm not investing in one. I don't have any reason to have one. If you want one or own one, that's cool. I mean, like I said, I always tell people, get what you like. I'm not here to tell you any different. So, Pistol Pete, yes, I have shot it. I've got video on it. And somebody asked me earlier, I think it was Ranger, he was guessing that I was carrying the tribute gun for my dad. And I'm not carrying that. I don't know if I will carry it, to be honest with you. Not saying it's not a good gun. It's a great gun. But I just don't know if I'll carry it because if something happened and I had to use it, they're going to take it, which, it is what it is. And there's a bunch of guns that I wouldn't care if they took them. I mean, because I could go get another one, but you can't get that. You can't get another one of those. So, I mean, I could buy one and then have it dressed up the same, but it's just not that gun. So I probably won't be carrying it. What I'll probably do is when I'm barbecuing, that'd be my barbecue gun, so to say, have it strapped out there and, let everybody see it that comes over. It might be kind of one of those guns. So I used to, and of course I carried a lot of 1911s back in the day, but I had my Les Baer Custom was one of my barbecue guns. So when I'd smoking and stuff, I always had it in the leather holster. That was back when leather holsters were a thing. So I would still carry it, but that was my barbecue gun too. So, yeah, that's why. That's why you saw 37 videos, because that was the embargo day. So that's when they drop them. Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, we all know who they are. I just kind of like to add a little spice on it. It doesn't matter. Hell, they're probably going to demonetize this video anyway. A lot of them have been. Dennis is asking, are you still happy with the Shadow System CR920XP? Do you carry it? Yes. On all of last week and the week before that, I carried the Shadow Systems in the Armsman holster with the TLR7 Sub X on it, and the EPS carry, EPS carry. And it's a great gun. I mean, I've shot it a lot. I think I've got a total of, I had it written down and I said it last week. I think it's got right at 900 and it's either 51 or 961 rounds. I had the book out here when I was talking about it last week. The book's in the bag with the gun in the safe. But yeah, so I'm not carrying it this week. I'm carrying the Shadow 2 Compact because I wanted to start, getting some time behind carrying it. I've carried it, Monday, Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, and then today. So I've only carried it 3 days in the holster at the 12 o'clock. It's been working great. The holster's great. No, hot spots, no weird feeling when I'm driving or walking around or whatever. It's been great. So the holster is awesome. And the gun carries very well. Now, is it a little chunky boy with the weight and stuff compared to the Shadow Systems 920 XP? Oh, yeah. I mean, it's way heavier. But, it's got the mag well. It's got everything on it. But, yeah, it doesn't bother me at all. Yeah, Pistol Pete saying don't carry that 97B. It's a range gun. Like I said, if I carry it, it'll just be, for the barbecue gun. Unpopular opinion. The Springfield mass drop of videos by everyone is a huge turnoff. Makes me have zero interest in it, flooding the vids like that. No, I get it. I'm just saying that's what the embargo is. So, you know, it's those places give you a certain date and say you can't drop a video till these dates, blah blah blah. So they agree to it. They send them free stuff. You know, it is what it is. So, and Dennis is exactly right, because I really don't want to pull the channel down, because then we can't do these things, because that's what they end up doing. No, and I know leather holsters are still a thing. I meant for me. I just don't carry any leather holsters anymore. And even when I did, they weren't official cow leather. I carried horsehide because cow leather will stretch. So I was big into horsehide back in the day. A lot of people, I mean, I started out with cowhide, but when you really, really carry it, you really, really, use it, leather, attracts dust, and dust creates scratches. So I didn't really care. It's a tool, and I had scratches on my gun. I'm not a, oh my gosh, I don't want to scratch this gun. I'm not that guy. But you know, leather holsters do contact a lot of dust, and it actually embeds in the leather. So every time you put your gun in there, you're scratching it, and the moisture is a big thing. So with horsehide, you don't really have, it wicks moisture much better, and it doesn't deform like a lot of the leather holsters will. Okay. Pistol Pete is saying, I'm just interested to hear your thoughts on the Cajun Gunworks trigger job on that 97. It's incredible. The trigger, I did trigger pulls. I showed this, I wrote them all down. I don't know how well you can see that. I did 3 single action, 3 double action pulls. It's 2 pounds, 15 ounces, 2 pounds, 13 ounces, 2 pounds, 13 ounces for single action. Double action, 6 pounds, 6.8 ounces, 6 pounds, 6.9 ounces, and 6 pounds, 3.1 ounces. So it's an incredible trigger. I mean, it's really, really good. A lot of people might get turned off with a 2-pound trigger. I don't, but to each their own. Demonetizing the video. I put the videos up, YouTube, when they put commercials on it, they pay us a small revenue or a small deal. It's not a lot, or not a lot for me. It can be for other people, but when they demonetize the video, it doesn't put any ads on it. And then also they silence your video, like it won't go out to the masses. It's kind of like, muffling it or whatever. Anytime it's demonetized, they don't push your video or recommend your video. So, that's how it really hinders it. Because I want information to get out to people. So, Pistol Pete saying, which pistol do you have the most rounds through? God, man, I'd have to pull my book. I mean, I've got books on all my guns. The first Staccato C2 before the frame warped, I had like 5,100 rounds through it, then the frame warped. So they replaced it. Now with the Staccato I've got now on the C2, it has, I'm just talking out my ass because I don't have the book. I know it's way over 3,000, probably 4,000 rounds again on that gun. MPA has a shitload of rounds. My Glock 19X probably has over, I know it's got probably 6,000 to 7,000 rounds on it now, if not more. Trying to think of the highest count one. Probably my CZ. I bet it's my CZ P10C that's orange and has the comp on it. That gun has to have 8,000 to 10,000 rounds on it. I have shot the dog crap out of that gun. But again, I don't have the books. If I would have been prepared for it, I could have pulled out the books and given you exact round counts or close to them. But, I was shooting way, way more than I am now. I don't know if those were planned or it was a crappy gun. I don't know. But when you run suppressed, if it's not tuned correctly, that can happen when you run a suppressor. So that can definitely happen. What's the 97B? That's my CZ that I had done. in tribute for my father. And the Wilson Combat is not a 97. It's a D77 Project One. That's what that's the gun they just released from Wilson Combat. It's a D as in dog 77. Red Menace said I shot an IDPA match last week with all leather gear, full boom made. There you go, or full boom mode. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what people like and stuff, I mean, nothing wrong with it. I'm not hating on it. I just personally don't use that anymore. Yeah, my 97B has a safety. I do carry a lot of them in the quarter cocked position without the safety on. So, yeah, I mean, my P10Cs, you know, I've got 3 P10Cs and 1 P10F, and they're great guns. That's what I'm saying. I like them so much. They work great. They run great. So, I mean, what's the Echelon going to do that my P10F won't do or my P10Cs won't do? I mean, for me, you know, if y'all want that and stuff, get it. I mean, I'm not your daddy. I tell people that all the time. And then here brings up the other thing. You know, I've had comments like, oh my God, look at these shills, you know, with the Echelon video, or look at this shill, look at that shill. And then I've seen things posted like, oh my gosh, people are shills. You know, man, I don't take any of that shit to heart. I mean, as a gun guy, you know, if I don't want to watch a video, I don't watch a video. If I don't want to subscribe to people, I don't subscribe to people. If people, you know, want to post, hey, this deal, that deal, this deal, and there are some people that wear that shit out, I'll be honest with you. You know, every time there's a sale, they post up 19 things about the primary arms sale, and that's cool, but I'm just like, you know, you know, if you're a gun guy, you're probably already seeing those deals. And I know that it does help out those channels and stuff. And I'm not, you know, I'm not knocking them because it's capitalism. You know, if you're showing somebody a deal or you're sharing a discount code, you know, and they're going to save some money, why not share it with them? But I don't let that stuff bother me. I know some people get really butthurt about seeing a lot of that kind of stuff, but I can always turn it off, or I can silence it, or I can do what I want to do. I just don't let it bother me. So yeah, and it hit my feed. I mean, I got all of those Echelon videos just like everybody else did. And I think I watched 2 of them or listened to 2 of them just to support a couple of guys that I know that I like, and they're friends of mine. And I just watched their videos, and then I left a really dumbass comment. Like I think on one of them, I said, oh, I was just here to see the babysitter. That was on Humboldt Video. But I'm not here to throw hate and, you know, why are you doing this and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I don't give 2 shits. I don't take it too serious. Now, for new gun owners that are coming into the market, you know, if they ask my opinion, like, hey, what do you think about this particular thing or that particular thing? If I've shot it or tried it, I will definitely give an opinion. But if I haven't tried it or I haven't shot it, I don't have an opinion. I really don't. I'll just be like, I've never tried that. You know, I'm always 1,000% upfront with everybody. I don't say I've shot this and this and this and 19 million guns when I haven't, because why? Why lie to people? Let's see here. Oh, what's up, Turkey? How are you? He says, I don't like mass release because it shades out the honest, real reviews that trickle in later. It's a strategy to suppress negative aspects of the item, the life-saving item. Yeah, well, it's an embargo. I mean, that's what I was talking about earlier. There is a certain date, like they're saying, you can't release a video till this date. And they send out a bunch of guns to masses. Springfield, I mean, to be honest with you, Springfield has reached out to me in the past and said, hey, would you like to try these guns and blah, blah, blah. And I told them no. I'm not trying to be rude to them or whatever, but I was just like, I appreciate it, but no thanks. That was like, I don't know, that's probably like 2 years ago or so, maybe a little longer. Yeah, it's probably a little longer than that. And I just told them no, so they might have taken me off their list, and that's cool. There's some that I like to test. There's some I don't. I'm not trying to piss off anybody or throw hate towards anybody. If somebody's going to send you a gun and you're going to give it a true review, that's cool. If you, just because you got a free gun, if you're going to shill about it and, say, oh, it's perfect when, you had 19, 20 failures with it, that's not right. And what I consider a shill is somebody who is paid to give a good review. If you're an influencer or they send you something and you give a testing and an honest review, and if they give you a discount code or whatever, that's cool as long as you've tested it. Now, I recently got, and I even said it, I got this Batatu and they sent it to me. I did a box opening, on camera. It was missing screws. It looked like it had been used. I think it, and I sent an email, or I sent a video to the company, Batatu. And they said, yeah, that was something that was returned to Amazon and then given to you on accident. Amazon shouldn't have done that. So, and they were like, we'll send you some screws and all that. And I said, I have screws, I don't need instructions. I know how to work a dot. And they did send me a PDF, like, hey, if you want the instructions, here they are. But I said on that video, I said, I have not tested this. I have not put this on a gun. But here's the code they gave. I don't make any money on it. If y'all want to use the code, you can. I just keep it all up front. And a lot of people say, hey, this was sent to me, blah, blah, blah. I just don't look at that as a shill. I just don't. And I don't let it bother me. I don't get pissed off about it. I don't worry about it, man. Life's too short. So if I know they're talking out of both sides of their mouth and giving 2 thumbs up for every fucking thing that they review, that could be a little different. So Captain Phil said, I had an earlier P10C and broke the firing pin the first day. I had with some light dry firing. They took care of me. I would buy another, but it did shake me a little. I completely understand. Both of my P10Cs are the original, the OG P10Cs. So it's the Gen 1. And I had both of those milled. My P10F is like the 2nd or 3rd gen that came optic ready. But it's been great. All of mine have been great. I haven't had one problem with them. So can something happen? Yeah, anything can happen. Let's see here. Oh, well, hang on. I'm trying to catch up with somebody had a comment. Oh, here we go. Armsman said, I like the echelons, but I hate the wow, this is incredible. Best polymer, pistol, Glock killer, etc. Seems so fake. I think the product should speak for itself. I've only seen 3 videos that felt honest. I agree with that. Everything's a freaking Glock killer. When the P10C came out, it was a Glock killer. When the Echelon, anything that's not a Glock came out, it was a Glock killer. Remember the SIG? It was the Glock killer. And yes, you're exactly right, Dennis. And that's kind of what I'm saying. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. I've had people, I was talking about that with a buddy today, with Armsman today. As a matter of fact, people are like, watch my videos and they're like, oh my God, you have a 2011. You should be shooting holes inside of holes. And I'm like, I'm not a bullseye shooter. I do combat effectiveness, and I'm not a combat guy. I'm not trying to say that, but I don't want to put one hole or one hole in you with a bunch of rounds through the same hole. I want to open you up like a strainer. I don't want you to walk around with a plugged hole. You can't patch multiple holes. So that's kind of the way I look at it. I didn't sign up to be a bullseye shooter. I was more, I would say, accurate back in the day before I got with age, I got the little bit of a tremor. I'm just not as accurate as I was, but that's going to happen to everyone. So I just don't take that seriously either. I just don't let shit bother me. It's not worth it, man. I mean, some shit bothers me, trust me, but it's nothing to do with YouTube. So, yep, they had broken strikers and the little striker plate, on the back. Some of them came off. But I haven't had any of those problems with mine. Just, knock on wood. I'm not saying it can't happen. I just haven't had it so far. Hey, what's up, Trigger Bar? How are you, man? Hope you were doing well. But with the size of that suppressor, and looking at it, it looked like, I mean, I'm looking at stuff through a crystal ball in a distance, but that tube looked very small. It looked like a 22 suppressor to me, and it looked like a 2245 Ruger. And for a hit piece, that was a very popular gun that people don't realize. But that just looks like a really small tube. It doesn't look like a 9 millimeter tube on that suppressor. Now, again, I'm looking at it through a CCTV. But when I'm looking at the guy's hands, I'm trying to size it up, and it just looks like a really small tube suppressor to me. So I could be wrong. I've heard some people say it was 9 millimeter. I don't know that. But there you go. Grandbaby's date is, let's see here. It is March, like the middle of March. That's what we're looking at for the grandbaby. So definitely excited about that. Already bought a ton of stuff. Already have a name, so we're excited about that. But we made them lock it down. Also, I wanted to ask, did anybody buy anything on Black Friday? Did you have any awesome sales? I was, like buddies, I was like, oh, this is a great deal if you need this. So I was sending out, some of them that I had seen. Not anything I was trying to push, but I had just texted some of them to buddies of mine, like Trigger Bar and Uncle Dan and some other guys. But did y'all buy anything for Black Friday? There wasn't anything that I was like, oh my God, I really need this. That was just like an incredible sale. So I didn't buy anything. Well, I mean, I spent a bunch of money today, but that was on shit I had to get fixed. Yep, dude was a hitman flexing, and it was a B&T 9 millimeter well rod. Okay. Hello, Clyde Cumberland. How are you? On X, it's got videos on X about it. It's got the CCTV video that I don't know if anybody's put it on YouTube. It'd probably get flagged on YouTube, but yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yep. Yeah, I'm waiting for it to be over with too. Yeah, I didn't see any big deals that I thought might okay. DB got a case of 9 millimeter, a few bricks of 22 at the local gun show. There you go. Yep, I saw that. Southpaw, yeah. That thing's $1,145. I thought it would be less, but Q makes great products. I can't say anything negative about their products. I've shot several of them. I don't own a Q rifle or PDW or anything, but I've shot them, a few of them, and I like them. I do own one of their suppressors, and I really like it. Let's see here. Turkey's Opinion said Magpul, bipods, and slings. Cool. Yeah. I mean, they had a ton of mags. And I was telling buddies, I was like, hey, man, this is a great price on these mags. And I knew that I knew some of them needed some mags because they'd been asking me, hey, if you see a good deal on mags, let me know. And so I forwarded it to them. A couple of buddies ordered it. So, yeah. Texas Gun Experience does have a lot of Q stuff. Yeah, the boombox looks awesome too. Oh, Trigger Bar got him a lot of gel. Yeah, he's been doing a ton of testing, 5.7 testing. So if y'all are if y'all are wanting to check out some good testing videos, ammo testing, Trigger Bar's been doing a bunch of that. Yep, I saw that. The Vortex Defender XL for $199. I think Shields. That was a Shields deal, wasn't it? It might still be going on, but that is a hell of a deal if you need a dot. And they've got a lifetime warranty on them, so that is a good thing. Yep, Everyday Shooter. He got the deal on the Defender. Okay, cool. And Lynn Holt said, well, yes, I did pick up ammo at Academy and Freedom Munitions, a Timney Alpha Trigger for Glock, some core belts, parts from Wilson and Nighthawk. There you go. Looks like you had a little haul there. That's good. Let's see here. So we were talking about the Wilson Combat D77, the Project One. People have asked me about my thoughts on it. It's expensive, but it's Wilson Combat. I was joking around with some buddies and I said, well, this is definitely not the Ken Hackathorn edition because it's optic ready and it has a comp and it has a rail. So I said, that's definitely not the Ken Hackathorn edition. But I mean, do I like it? Is it cool? I mean, it's a 5-inch 1911 with some rose coating on it, which is kind of cool if that's what you're looking for. Would I buy it? No, I don't need it. If I was a Wilson, Wilson Combat collector, would I buy it? Probably. I think it's going to be a fine gun. I'm not shit talking it or anything, but do I think it's ugly? No. I mean, I think it looks pretty good. Some people are saying it's ugly. Like I shot it to Humble, and he was like, "Oh, that's ugly." But Harry and I kind of liked it. We thought it looked good. Yeah, and I would mention that I thought he was doing that too, and some people mentioned that they saw the brass on the ground. So I don't know. I thought I was incorrect, and I saw your comment too, and I was like, yeah, that's what he's doing is keeping the brass. I thought he was shooting really low subsonic ammo so it wouldn't cycle and he could keep the brass. That's what it looked like to me. Not Ken edition, yeah, that's what they should have done. They should have just put that right on the side of it. Yeah. Dennis said, you people living in free states are beginning to piss me off. Talking about your suppressors, high cap mags, real AR-15s, AKs, and your fancy toys. No, I get it, Dennis. I know it sucks for you, man. That's horrible. Oh, okay. FBI confirmed it was a 9mm. Okay, there you go. I can't figure out the purpose of the Project One. It seems directed at the competition crowd. Well, here's the thing, Lynn, with Wilson Combat and Atlas and all this other stuff, there's not really a purpose. I mean, there is, I'm saying some competition people, but with Wilson Combat, there's people that will buy anything that's Wilson Combat, just like SIG. If a new SIG comes out, it's lipstick on a pig, or a new Glock. It's lipstick on a pig and people will buy it. So, that's probably just a, different looking, kind of fancied up Wilson Combat that people haven't seen before. So the Wilson crowd's going to buy it. I mean, they're going to buy it up. So 3 empty shells on the ground and 3 unfired on the ground. Okay. Yeah, and that's what I was saying, and Trigger Bar knows this. I know this. If guns aren't tuned for suppressors and you don't have, the right stuff, you haven't tested it, sometimes they won't function properly. So, because even if you have the device on there for a pistol, if you don't have the spring tension correct, sometimes the little, what is it, the Nelson device or something, I forget what they call it. But if those aren't, sprung correctly, sometimes it'll say it's for that gun and it should work, but sometimes they still won't work, so. And I don't know if it was FMJ or Full Metal Jacket, or excuse me, Hollow Point. I don't know what it was. So. Yeah, I mean, people are going to buy them. Oh, I'm sure it is. You're going to have the FUDs where they're like, oh, we don't need any shiny shit on our guns. You're going to have those too. But I think what they're trying to do is bring in some of the Atlas. They're trying to get some of that clientele because Ken kind of soured it, in my opinion. So they're trying to pull some of the I don't want to say younger, because some of us like cool looking shit. But I think they're trying to go after, maybe some younger crowds and things like that. So, yeah, but here's the thing also, like Ozark guy, where would he go to test it? In New York. So if you've got a Hush Can and you're in New York, it's not like you can just go and test it somewhere. You can't go into a range with it. So, he might have not been able to test it properly. Exactly. Yeah. With their finger grip. Yeah, you're exactly right. Lipstick on a pig. Ken made butter. Radama, how are you, sir? Why is that we as gun owners always want the latest and greatest instead of just keeping what works and what we are good with? I get it. Some people just want something different, and that's their right. Like I said, people can buy whatever they want. I will never discourage people to buy what they want and what they can afford. When they go into debt for it and they can't pay their rent, that's when I'm like, whoa, I won't tell them because it's not my job. Um, but then also, if they will go and rent the gun and let it, kind of be out there for a while and work through any little tweaks or, bad things that it might have. If they're able to go rent that gun they were thinking about buying and test it against their gun, sometimes it'll show, hey, there's not really any difference between these two. I'm really proficient with mine, and this one's no better. But it's that, hey, I've got money in my pocket burning a hole in it. Now, have I been guilty of that? Yes, I have. The Bronx is good for testing. Jamaican Queens, Brownsville, Brooklyn. What train you want to take? Yeah. But, like I said, I mean, it's capitalism. Hell, if people want to buy stuff, let them buy stuff. I mean, I would never tell people. That's just like I've got buddies. I've said the stories before. They've got 12, 10.5-inch AR-15s. Okay, you look at them, they're all set up exactly the same. I'm like, what do you need 12 for? It's the same freaking gun. Oh, well, this one's got a different comp, or this one's got a different whatever, different buffer tube. I'm like, you can buy those parts and just test them in, the 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 that you have. You don't need 12 of the same ones, but those are buddies. I mean, we can BS back and forth like that. I give them crap. They bust my balls. I bust their balls. That's what we do. But to tell people, hey, you shouldn't have bought those, that's not my job. I don't care. They can buy what they want. Hello, Young Guns. How are you, man? Yeah, I did too. DB saying, I stopped chasing the flavor of the month. You'll never keep up with the latest whiz bang. Buy ammo. Get good with what you have. Range toys are cool, though. Yep, I get it. That's the thing, especially with striker fire guns. I mean, you've got 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. You got all the new ones coming out. I mean, you really do. There's no, other than like a rotating barrel or something that's very, very unique, they're all going to shoot the same. I mean, as long as you can, if they're size proportional where you can get the same grip on them, you're going to shoot them pretty much the damn same. Now, it's not that I don't like trying them out and stuff, but just to go buy them, I mean, I've done that, been there, got a hat and a t-shirt, I'm from the older generation. So, and if you got money, sometimes you want to blow it. I get it. However, I had to blow some money today to fix a chain. I had a kink in it, and I had to get this damn thing fixed, and that wasn't cheap. And I've got 2 watches that are due for service, so I'm gonna have to send those in for service, and they're not cheap. I mean, not that they're broken. They're not broken. They're just due for their services. Where they take them apart, clean everything, lube them, put new gaskets in them. And that's not a cheap project on either one of those. They're actually overdue. But I told myself I'm probably going to wait till the first of the year and then send them in through the AD to get them done. Let's see here. Excuse me 1 second. Let's see here. I'm fond of 1911s and 45s as range toys and hot rods, but I carry a 9mm Glock every day. No, I get it. Nothing wrong with that. It's kind of like I used to get on YouTube. I used to get chewed all the time. Yeah, and if you're in a defensive situation, they're going to take that gun, blah, 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 and I get it. But I looked at it this way. Which guns do I, and I'm only speaking from which guns do I personally shoot the best? And it's usually 1911s, 2011s, tricked out guns with lighter triggers. I usually shoot the best. So if I'm going to have to defend myself, I want the best. God dang, what the hell's going on? Uh, Hang on. Anyway, sorry about that. My wife's at a wedding. So, but, which one do I shoot the best? If I can shoot it the best, more accurately for me, if I feel more confident in it, that's the gun I'm going to carry. So, if it's a $3,000 gun, $4,000 gun, $5,000 gun, it is what it is. And if they do take it, um, they take it. I've got other ones at home, but for the person that's in the situation where they might only have one or two guns, or maybe one gun, that could be a whole different ball game right there. Let me catch back up. I'm sipping on, this is Hog 6. It's just an inexpensive whiskey. Trying to save my Buffalo Trace because I am getting low on it. I'm due for servicing, but no one seems to care. Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, it's a great pistol, man. It really is a great pistol. Clyde, I'm carrying the Shadow 2 Compact this week, so that's what I've been carrying all this week in the Armsman holster. So really liking it a lot. Yeah, like I said, my wife's at a wedding. It's a family friend of ours. Her daughter's getting married, and so she's trying to tell me all about it. And I'm just like, leave me alone. I finally told her, I'm like, I'm on a chat. Leave me alone. Talking about guns and stuff. So, Everyday shooter. He's saying I shoot my ported and tuned Shadow 2 Compact the best, so that's what I carry. Yeah, and I mean, I get it. And like I said, I'm not saying you have to carry an expensive gun. I mean, I shoot my 19X very well, but I carry it also, so I just like rotating. There's some people who are like, this is my one carry gun. This is all I'll carry. And that's great. Sometimes you don't want to mess around with the guy who carries one gun. So I get it. I just like rotating through things because if I didn't, they would just get stagnant and sit there. So that's why I like changing stuff around. Sugar Bar says 2.0 and a CZP-10C. Orange grips on the Shadow 2 Compact. Yeah, it's got orange grips, silver magwell, it's got the orange grips, silver magwell, silver mag release extension, and it's got orange base plates. So I've still got it kind of tricked out and mixed up a little bit. Well, yeah, we've seen experts try to take apart a Glock too, and it took them 2 hours to do it. I'm being sarcastic, but not just because they say they're an expert doesn't mean they're an expert. And I'm not saying I'm an expert either. I'm just saying, another thing I want to get y'all's opinion since we're talking about the Shadow 2 Compact. When I was at Impact Machine, I don't know if you can see this, I bought another plate for my Shadow 2 Compact because I like their plate so much. I bought the Acro Steiner plate. Well, and I knew this when I talked to Scott. It doesn't have rear sights. That's not a big deal to me because I still have the front sight. But it doesn't have rear sights on this particular plate. It is a carbon steel plate with the screws and everything. And I really like the Holosun that I have on there, the 507 X2. I mean, it's a great sight, works super good, no issues, no problems. I was just like, man, I've got Steiner, some Steiner sitting around here. Would y'all want to see a Steiner on the Shadow 2 Compact, or just keep my setup that I have now? Or should I just buy another plate and put the EPS carry on it just for something to do? But like I said, I bought the plate. They didn't give me the plate. I just said I was paying for it. Not saying he would have given it to me, but I didn't give him the chance to give it or try to give it to me. So would y'all want to see the Steiner or the Aimpoint P2 on the Shadow 2 Compact, or not really? Dennis says, hopefully after Christmas I can buy the CR920XP and definitely buying an arms and holster. I mean, I really do like the the Shadow Systems CR920XP. I didn't know because it was a thin gun, but I actually really enjoying it. It shoots great for me. Yeah, never lost one. Yeah, I haven't. Well, I mean, I've lost them in my own safes, but Trigger Bar said he'd go EPS carry. Brian says EPS. Frantic says aim point. Yeah, like I said, I'm really liking the EPS carries, but on that gun, instead of the EPS carry on that one, I'd probably go the full size EPS because it's a little wider. But I do like the enclosed option. Whether it's the Steiner, the aim point, or the EPS, carry or full size EPS. Because like I said, if you're carrying at 12 o'clock and you've been carrying for a while, when you carry at the appendix, it can be a little dust collector or a lint connector or skin collector or whatever you want to call it. You're going to get some foreign debris in there. Like, I've been carrying it, 3 days now. And today when I took it off, I looked through it and I was like, and it was just blowing, dust or lint or skin or whatever you want to call it. And it blew it right out. But, that's what happens. A little cup in there and it just kind of catches everything. I run an SRO on mine. If I was going closed, I'd do a 509T, but the Steiner does look good on the Shadow 2 Compact from pics I've seen. I haven't seen the Shadow or the Steiner on one yet. I probably just Google it and look. I just haven't done that yet. I just have an EPS, a Steiner that's been sitting in the box. Now it is an FDE one, but I've got another Steiner on my P10C that's black, so I could switch them. But, or I could just buy an EPS, full size or carry. Armsman saying the EPS and EPS carry are his favorite dots currently. Yeah, I mean, I really like them. I've got two of them now. They're both carry versions. I've got them on the 97B and I've got them on the Shadow Systems CR920XP, and I am really liking those dots. So for, a small dot where it's enclosed, I mean, it is really hard to beat that dot. It's just, I've just got dots sitting here. No, I don't have them sitting there like Armsman does. He's got 19 million dots sitting around. And I'm not a fan of the 509T because it has its own footprint. It's not a common one, so it's its own footprint. Not that it's a bad dot. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if I want to move something around, I have to buy a 509T, specific plate where I couldn't even put another optic on it. With this Acro plate, I can put an Acro P2 or a Steiner on it. With the EPS version, I could put the carry or the EPS. On the RMR, I could put shitloads of them on there. And I don't run Delta Point Pros anymore. It's crap. Those are trash. That 97B is, I'm sure he probably was putting a symbol, but it's not showing it. Yeah, that 97B is awesome. EDS. There was something else I wanted to tell y'all about. Thought I jotted it down here. Anyway, oh yeah. Well, yeah, we don't. I mean, that doesn't come into play here. Services on watches have gone crazy. They used to be able to be serviced for like $600, and now they're anywhere from $800 to $1,500. And I'm just like, wow. And that's not even changing out any wearable parts that they have to add to it. I'm not a let's see here. Brian is saying, as much of a dot shooter you are, you know where the dot would be if it wasn't there for whatever reason. If it's inside the window frame at 7 yards, you're hitting a target. Exactly right. you can use the frame like I've talked about before. I mean, even if you knock the window out of it and it was completely busted, you can frame the optic around somebody just like you're using a big circle dot, like a EOTech, and same scenario. So that's even another reason that I like them. Hello, Taylor. How are you? Said last week you talked about Savior and Lynx range bags, hoping to get a Lynx soon, but just purchased a Savor. I think it's Savor. I'm pronouncing it wrong. I have to report it's not made in China, and the zippers are higher quality than the past. That's awesome, man. Like I said, I mean, they look like nice bags. And I'm not saying you got to buy a freaking, $300 bag. Buy what you can afford. Don't go bankrupt over anything. I would never tell anybody to do that. Savor's really changed a lot since I last seen their products. Yeah, I'm sure they've probably gotten a lot better. Just like a lot of, other companies. So, shit, what kind of watch are you talking about? Rolex. I've got 2 Rolexes that need to be serviced. And I'm not trying to brag or anything. I worked my ass off for those. So, I'm a watch guy. In the past, I've seen a lot of SIG optics fail, especially the Romeo Max. So I've never been interested in SIG optics. I have personally in the past, way in the past, had SIG optics fail too. It was the original Romeo. I don't remember the number. What was it, Romeo 1 or whatever? It was on like a lot of the 320s. I had that thing shit the bed pretty quickly. They sent me another one. It shit the bed. So, and then there was another SIG. It wasn't mine. It was on someone else's gun. I can't remember the number on it. Oh, well, and then actually I have a Romeo 5 that shit the bed. If the new one's over there on the table on a 193 mount, but it shit the bed, that Romeo 5. And man, I bought like freaking 5 of those things one time when they were on sale like 5 years ago. And had one shit the bed, but they warrantied it. They replaced the whole thing. So I can't knock them for that. And now SIG came out. They have a lifetime warranty on every one of their optics, even their old ones. But I don't own any more SIG optics as far as pistol optics. And I probably won't buy any. I'm not knocking them. I'm sure they've gotten a lot better. But I don't, Holosun, there's other people making really great optics that I have a lot of faith in. I've had 2 Delta Point Pros shit the bed. I've had 2 SIG optics shit the bed. I have had 1 Trijicon SRO shit the bed. Now, those were all replaced, except the 2 SIGs, because back then they didn't have warranties on them. They didn't have the lifetime warranties back then. I have never had a Holosun, knock on wood, I've never had a Holosun shit the bed, and I probably have 15 of them, and I'm not being sarcastic. I have the original 507s where the battery goes in the bottom. I still have probably 8 or 10 of those, or 7 or 8 of those. And all I've done is change the batteries, and they all still work. I've never, ever, ever had a Holosun. Just, I'm one of one. I know other people have, but I've never had a Holosun shit the bed. So I keep buying them. But that is the good thing that, if people have a really, really good warranty on them and it's easy to deal with, and I try to buy a lot of things American. I really do. But when you have a lot of guns, you can't buy every freaking SRO or Trijicon RMR or any of that shit. You can, but you're going to spend $1 billion for it. So, I want to upfit them with decent quality optics. I have a lot of these optics that I test. There's only 2 of them so far that I would really say yes to. I mean, Sealy makes really good optics. I haven't had any problems with theirs, and I've beat the shit out of them. Thrown them in the air, froze them, done all kinds of shit with them. And Sealy has been really good. I did have one of these brands, this Vitatu. I had one of their earlier ones shit the bed. But supposedly they've redone them, and maybe they're better now. But I really want to test shit out to make sure it's going to work, especially on a carry gun. Let's see here. Like Ozark Guy says, I bought another Savor bag and 12 of the smaller ammo bags, solid product, lifetime warranty. Yeah, I mean, I've got some of the Savor, what are they, the little mini ammo bags? I think they're the little small ones in the, not camo, they call it something else, Tiger or whatever. I've got some of the little Savor ammo bags and the minis. I think they're called minis. And I've used them and haven't had a problem with them, but they're just ammo bags. Yeah, the 510C, that's a good one. Hell, the 512 was a good one too. I've had the Delta Point Pro go bad, Trijicon SRO break, Vortex Venom stop working. All got warranted and replaced. Yeah, I had the earlier Venom. It was just, it came on a gun, and that thing was a piece of shit. But they did replace it. I miss seeing Sage Dynamics videos on Dots and his optic reviews. Hope he's doing well with Patreon. Yeah, he'll put one out here and there. But yeah, he's exclusively Patreon. He had talked about that a long time before he actually did it. So I've only shot, and it wasn't mine. I've only tried one Swamp Fox, and it was one of their earlier green ones. And the green was, it was not the right color green. I don't think it was bright enough. And there was a grass backstop. I've talked about this before, and it blended in like really well with it. But I think they changed their green. That was when they had kind of the darker green. Now it's more of a bright lime green. That was one of their first green dots they ever had. And I've heard they've gotten a lot better. So let's see here. I think I have. Yeah, we'll finish this last little bit. All right, that was good. I needed that. Yeah. You know, I've talked about this before. I'm a huge watch collector, and I wouldn't say huge, but I have a lot of watches. I really enjoy watches. I'm not wearing one now because I took it off. It's in the winder, but I'm definitely a gun guy. I'm a watch guy. I'm a car guy. That's the thing about, you know, I mean, I was a golf guy. I mean, that's kind of the thing about, you know, gun guys or car guys. It's not that they're just a car guy. They might be into other things or have other hobbies. And sometimes, you know, I even wonder if I have too many hobbies or too many things that I really enjoy. But you know, I've just always been a watch guy, and I'm not knocking anybody. I can't do an Apple Watch. I can't do any of the smartwatches. Man, I've been in meetings with with people with smartwatches, and you know, we're discussing business, and and I'm trying to have their attention, and they're doing this shit I mean, it's literally every 5 minutes, and I'm just like, you know, and I know that thing's buzzing, their phones are buzzing in their pockets. Mine is buzzing in my pocket because I have it muted. But I just, I'll just say it. I despise freaking Apple Watches and being around them because I feel they're a nuisance. And call me old fuddy, whatever you want to call it. I know they help a lot of people. A lot of people really like them, but I am not that guy. So, and that's cool because I can have my opinion just like they have their opinion. And I would never beat them up about it. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of people on here that have Apple Watches, and that's cool if that's what you like. But man, when you're trying to conduct business, and matter of fact, one of my guys had one, and we were in a meeting, and his was buzzing when we were in SEMA, and I was like, "You better turn that damn thing off," because it was literally like every 5 minutes, and he was having customers try to reach him because we were at SEMA, and I was just like, take that thing off and put it in your pocket or do something with it because it's driving me freaking crazy. So I just think it's just sometimes a little too much. Nicest watch I've had is a Bulova, but one day I will have a Rolex. I mean, Bulovas are nice watches too. I have a Bulova. It's the square. It's a little square Bulova. I can't remember the number on it. Not a fan of Kimber. Had 3, all nothing but issues. Too skeptical on their QC. Yeah, the old Kimber way back when were great. Then when they started doing all this fancy stuff, they sucked. Now, supposedly, they are better. So, I can only go by what, Humble wouldn't feed me a line of shit, and he's really liking them. So, so far so good. Maybe they've really changed around. I think that's cool. I like watches, but the prices keep me out of the market. 15,000 minimum for a Rolex. Yeah, you can get some pre-owned, really nice with papers, with the box, everything. But here's the way that I look at them. Okay, and this is just me. They are investments, and like the two Rolexes that I have, they've actually kept their value because I go get them reappraised and things like that for insurance purposes, and they've kept their value. So, I mean, if you buy the right ones, there's some that lose a lot of value. But I look at it as a conversational piece. I enjoy them. I don't really care what other people think. I do what I want to do and wear what I want to wear. But I enjoy them. So it is what it is. But yeah, they're not. They're not. Some of them aren't cheap. But you can get pre-owned ones. I've recommended to people. I've even found pre-owned ones that were good buys for buddies of mine that were looking for them. Omega makes a great watch, and I'll give you a little secret. I'll tell you this right off the bat. If you're looking for a Rolex Submariner, that's the most popular Rolex. And what's funny is I had a sub back in the day. I just didn't. I mean, it's a great watch. It's an incredible watch. But I kind of lost. I fell out of love with it because everybody and their brother had one. But the Submariner is a fantastic watch. It's probably one of the most sought after watches for a Rolex. You can go buy a Tudor, Tudor, and it's called the Bay, Tudor Bay, Black Bay, to be specific. Tudor Black Bay. Tudors are the sister company of Rolex. They come with a lot of the same inners. They come with sapphire faces, stainless steel bands. Their bands are incredible. Tudor is a hell of a watch, and they're like half or a quarter of the price of some of the Rolexes, and it's this same freaking watch. It just doesn't have the Rolex name. So they're fantastic watches. I highly, highly recommend Tudor. So if you're looking for a watch, they have Tudor Chronos, they have the Black Bays, they have all different kinds of watches, and I highly recommend a Tudor. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to buy buy a Tudor. I've been looking at one and probably will buy it probably the first of the year. So, and like I said, you are getting the same exact incredible timepiece as a Rolex, but you're just not paying for the Rolex name. And they hold their value as well. No, Richard Mille. Yeah, Harry, I was talking to Harry about it. Richard Mille is a cool watch, but I ain't spending $500,000 on some of his watches. I don't know. I've looked at them and held them, and I'm just like, ugh. They're cool. They're kind of gaudy. They got some cool colors. Bubba Watson, he helps design. I think he designed like 3 of Richard Mille's. They're cool watches, but they're very, very expensive. Sky Dweller, yeah, it's a good watch. If you want the big boy, you can get the C. What is it, Seamaster, or is it the Ocean Door? It's the 50 millimeter, but it's freaking that thick. I mean, it's a beast. And I've got some 52. Yeah, I got a 52 millimeter, and it's obnoxious as shit. Yeah, I mean, hell, if you watch some of the old videos, man, like back when people were in the war, you could buy Rolexes for like $300, and now they're worth 200 grand. Some of them. That's the thing about them. Don't underestimate the older Rolexes, the pre-owned. You can get some really good deals, and you can get some great watches. My wife collects purses. shoes, jewelry, uh, race car parts on her car. Yeah, I mean, she has she has good taste. She has nice things. But I do what I want to do. She does what she wants to do. It's the deep sea. Harry, what's the one that's 50 millimeters that Rolex makes? I can't think of it. It's not the Sea Dweller. Deep sea? I thought that was a 50 millimeter. Clyde, there is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. Freaking Casio and Timex, they make great watches, man. I've got a shitload of Casios, a shitload of them. I probably have 15 or 20 Casios. I like G-Shocks too. I have tons of G-Shocks. They're great watches. There is one that came out. I could have swore it was a 50. Is that the real big thick one I'm thinking of? Is that the deep sea? I thought it was a 50. Anyway, but yeah, and Harry's a watch guy too. We always talk watches. He's got a cool Omega. Um, but yeah, I enjoy watches. I enjoy whiskeys. I enjoy, cars. I enjoy a lot of different things. But the bad thing is when you have too many hobbies and not enough money, that's when it sucks. Either a deep sea or a Submariner. No, Submariner is 41, I thought. Yeah, perfect watch for the range. Yeah. I mean, I love G-Shocks. I've got a bunch of them. There it is. There it is. The Deep Sea Challenge, 50 millimeter titanium. I knew there was one. The Deep Sea Challenge. Yes. That's it. That is a big, big boy. Yeah, Deep Sea Challenge. Yeah, I've never seen one in person. I've only seen it on the site too, but it is a monster. I wouldn't wear it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, not that I'm don't like gaudy shit. Yeah, no, I get it. That's the bad thing. And hell, when I was in racing cars, that was even worse. That was a lot of money. Because you blew up shit and you wrecked shit. So, motors were expensive back then too. Now they're even way more. Yep, I have a Longines. Yeah. What's really cool, one of the coolest watches in my collection is I have my grandfather's Longines. It's 18 karat gold. It was his watch that he got for his, oh, what was it? It's engraved on the back. I think it was his 25-year work anniversary. And what's cool about it is a windable. And I had it redone because when I got it, it didn't work. I spent a bunch of money on making it work and having the new face put on it. I did keep the original dial. It has the watermark dial, the old school watermark dial, which is worth a lot of money. But I had it completely refurbished, had to put a new band on it. My grandfather wore it with one of those freaking stretchy bands, those metal stretchy bands. So I put a really nice leather with gold clasp on it. And but yeah, and so I've got his watch and it works perfectly. But man, that thing is like on me, it looks like a freaking little kid's watch. It's just funny, but I will never get rid of it, of course. That'll be passed down to my grandkids. Hamilton makes great watches, man. Hamilton makes good watches, and they've been in the business forever. I don't. I have three of them. I have both of my grandfather's original pocket watches, and then I have one of them is a Longines pocket watch. Also, it's the big one, and it has the little door on it. But that was my dad's. My grandfather on my dad's side. This is the grandfather on my mother's side that has the Longines wristwatch. But I don't see anybody use a pocket watch anymore, like where you take it out of your pocket and look at it. I mean, people call that the phone now, I guess. Between saxophones and guns, I stay I stay getting fussed at. Yeah, no, I get it, man. The Sea Dweller Deep Sea is 50. Yeah, I knew they had one. Now I have a Casio transformed by a Barton silicone band. Yeah, Barton makes good bands. I have some of their bands. Love it. Yeah, I even have a James Bond band. You know, it's the red, the black, the green. It's that burgundy red. And I've got it on a Casio Duro. What is it? A 44 millimeter, I think. And I get a bunch of comments. A lot of people think it's a Hulk. It's a Rolex Hulk, but it's just a look-alike. It's not a Rolex Hulk. But I really like that. Matter of fact, I wore that today. I have had people looking at it going, "Holy shit, that's a Hulk!" And I was like, "No, it's not a Hulk." Matter of fact, one guy looked at it. He kind of drew back like that, but he never said anything. And I just looked at him because I know him, and I said, "It's not a Hulk." And he goes, "Wow, it looks just like one." And I was like, "Yep." Yeah, pocket watches are cool, man. And I think 2 out of the 3 pocket watches I have works. Oh, that's what it is. 2 of them are pocket watches, and one of them is a stopwatch. It's an old antique stopwatch. Pocket watch for your bib overalls. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. You could put some paracord on it, have it coming out of there, and you could just like whip it back in there with a little bit of paracord. That'd be cool. Have your tactical pocket watch. But yeah, no, I enjoy watches. I enjoy looking at watches. I enjoy talking watches with customers. Sometimes I'll be sitting in their office and I notice they have a really cool watch on. And that's the thing about watches. You know, a lot of the watches have stories. Like there's a reason that you bought it for like the birth of a child or something like that. There's always, you know, some sentimental thing like you did really great, you know, a year in your business or you own your own company and you did great. There's some, you know, usually a story behind a watch. And I think that's the cool thing that I like hearing when I see other people's watches and we start talking watches. You know, I like to hear the story because I always ask them, like, hey, what made you buy it? Was there a certain thing in your life? And then one guy's like, yep, I bought it when my son was born. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So then he'll pass it down to his son, you know, and say, hey, here's the watch I bought when you were born. So I always think that's a really, really cool thing, you know, just to hear the little stories behind it. Oh, I've seen some really cool dealers or watches. Yeah. I've seen some watches that I was just like, holy crap. I mean, you know, when you're in dealerships with owners that own a dealership group and you see some of the titanium or the excuse me, not titanium, platinum, when you see some of the platinum watches, I'm just like, holy shit, you know, because I'm not dumb. I know how much a lot of those watches cost. So I'm just like, whoa, you know, and it's really cool to, you know, and some of these people will be wearing cowboy boots and jeans and all that, and then boom, they have that statement piece, and I'm just like, that's pretty cool. Yeah, watch Pulp Fiction, see how I got my daddy's watch. Yeah, yeah, I've got some owner buddies that man, they've got a hell of a watch collection, and usually the watch collection goes along with a car collection. Matter of fact, one of the dealers, I'm not going to say their name because y'all will know who they are. Um, they have over 250, and I've been to the museum where he stores them, over 250 cars. And these aren't normal cars. These are cars that are one of one, or excuse me, one of like number one off the assembly line. Some of these, he owns 2 cars that were made for Walt Disney. There's a black one and a white one. I'm not going to say the make because y'all will figure out who they are. Um, there's only 2 of these cars in existence, and he owns both of them. And it's the longest car ever made. And they were made specifically for a movie. And he owns both of them. And he has five original Shelby Cobras, not replicas, original Cobras. The AC Cobra with the 429 Cobra jet. or 428 Cobra, 429 Cobra Jet. And they are signed by Carroll Shelby, every one of them. So, I mean, when you see some of this stuff, it's like, whoa. Oh, yeah. Like we were talking about today, Harry. I would love to have the Daytona, the Panda, the real daddy deal. And APs are really nice too. I would still rather have a Daytona, personally, but I'm a Rolex guy. I mean, nothing wrong with the other ones. I really like them too. But it's kind of what I grew up on. My dad and mom had them too. So, but anyway, yeah, it's about 4:20 or 8:25. I'm sorry. So we got about 5 minutes left. If y'all have any other questions, comments, anything like that, throw it down below or throw it after the chat. I'd be glad to answer it. If you've got a question or comment or whatever, I always love to hear that. And again, y'all make this chat happen. I really appreciate y'all so much. Y'all are family. That's what's really cool. I think we have a great time. But, guns and solar tech for me on hobbies for Ranger 10. That's cool. Mecum auction. I've been to a bunch of them. What's really cooler than that is when you go to Barrett Jackson. Barrett Jackson are actually better than the Mecum. We used to go to the Mecum all the time. I bought cars personally back in the day from the Mecum auction. But when you get to go to Barrett Jackson in Phoenix, matter of fact, in January, I think it's January 17th, I might be out there for the Barrett Jackson in Phoenix. I think it's January 17th, 16th or 17th and 18th, I think. Yeah, no, Brian, we'll definitely pray for you, man. I hope they figure out what the heck's going on with you, brother. But yeah, Mecum is cool. But man, Barrett Jackson is even more special. So if you can ever go to one, and they've had them here in Dallas before, but they're kind of few and far between. Matter of fact, I just saw Barrett when I was at SEMA. Got to shoot some shit with him for a while. Had him over in our area. But yeah, we'll go ahead and shut this down. And if y'all can think of anything that you want, also, if you need an Armsman holster, you can use my code. It's BJGG10. That'll get you 10% off and free shipping for the subscribers. I don't make anything on it. Lock grips, you can use BJGG10. That's anything from lock grips, pistol grips, stands, whatever you want. And then also, if you want to use Impact Machine to get plates or any work, milling or anything done in your guns, it's BJGG10. That'll save you 10% off. I don't make anything on that. He just wanted to give it to the subscribers so y'all can save some money. If I can help y'all, that's what I want to try to do. But always appreciate you guys. But yeah, definitely if y'all got a chance, please pray for Brian. We want him squared away and figure out what the hell's going on with that neurological condition, because that's horrible, man. So, but y'all have a great night, and we will do this next Wednesday. And if y'all get any new guns or anything, let me know. I would definitely, reach out to me, shoot me an email, shoot me a text, a comment on one of the videos. It doesn't have to be about the video, and I'll reply back, because always interested. If y'all see a good deal or anything like that, let me know. But appreciate y'all. Y'all have a lovely night, and be safe out there. And remember, an unarmed nation's a very weak nation, so we all got to carry on. Thanks, everyone. Y'all take care.